Introduction of the new service lining technology, InnaTube, by us, Utility Services, is transforming the way Australian water authorities deal with problems like leakage and water quality issues. Developed in Europe, the InnaTube lining technology is now available to water authorities throughout Australia and New Zealand. InnaTube is a state-of-the-art, no-dig solution providing outstanding results in reticulated service pipe renovation. This utility services crew is setting up to repair a alongside service for Melbourne water retailer South East Water. In this video, we show just how simple, quick and effective the InnaTube lining service is, and why it's gaining favour worldwide as a safer, cleaner alternative to conventional methods. But before we see how the InnaTube system is used in the field, let's look at the simple principle behind the technology and list some of the key benefits it offers. Making a repair with the InnaTube system involves running a length of PET tubing through the existing corrosion-affected pipe, then expanding it to form a close-fitting liner, restoring the service to new. InnaTube service lining delivers substantial cost savings through increased maintenance efficiency. It completely alleviates the effects of copper corrosion, repairs are long-term, removing the risk of further leakages. It's suitable for all pipe materials, not just copper. InnaTube improves water quality and restores flow rate to customers. It also reduces inconvenience to customers and the public. Service disruptions are minimised and roads remain open during repairs. InnaTube eliminates any risk of damage to other services such as gas, electricity and telephone. And it protects the environment and local council assets with less need for digging. And importantly, with the InnaTube lining system, crews and the public are put at less risk than with conventional methods. As a pipe lining technology, InnaTube is, by its nature, a trenchless method of repair. As you'll see, the only digging needed is that to expose the ferrule connection for the service, which is normally located within the nature strip. A lining service crew is normally allocated 2 repair jobs a day, but with a good run they can even manage 3. The increased productivity delivered by the InnaTube technology also translates into improved response times, especially where bursts are involved. Using the InnaTube service lining system, longside renewals now take about 3 to 3.5 hours from dispatch to clean-up, a considerable time reduction on using conventional methods. Tracing the service back across the road to locate the ferrule is still done, but having done away with the requirement for road openings, NeoFit has also removed the need to spend effort accurately locating the position of a leak beneath the road before work can start. In most cases, the requirement to obtain road opening permits from councils before repairs is also a thing of the past, saving both time and money.
The advantages of the InnaTube system enables us to utilise the existing service that's already in the ground. We can slip the InnaTube from the main through to the meter, and that takes away any risk to any other authority's asset that might be in the ground due to the old-fashioned way of open cutting or boring across a new service.
Reports of service leaks to water authorities generally result from escaping water appearing at the road surface or nearby. But, as in the case with this job, which is in a sandy area, water may also be escaping away without surfacing, perhaps conducted away via the stormwater system.
We found a 20mm copper service that's corroded. We can do anywhere from 20 to 50mm services, also poly and some galvanised iron pipes.
Digging is not normally required within the customer's property. All that's needed is the temporary disconnection of the water meter. Occasionally, an obstacle such as an elbow fitting or crushed pipe may prevent insertion of the PET liner, requiring some additional excavation. Except where a total service replacement is carried out, conventional dig methods of repair are unable to solve the serious problem of ongoing pipe corrosion. The risk of further unpredictable bursts and leaks remains. A patched service will continue deteriorating towards inevitable failure and the need for replacement.
In the early days, this service would have had 2 to 3 repairs carried out on it prior to it being renewed. In this instance, we will come out first time, we will line it with InnaTube from the main to the meter, and this will guarantee another 50 years lifetime on that service.
Once the service is disconnected at both ends, it's carefully cleaned out and made as dry as possible. Compressed air is used to expel the water left in the pipe. Grit plugs or swabs are then blown through to remove accretions and particles that may affect the integrity of the lining. The swabs also drive out any remaining water. The PET tubing which will form the lining is only half the diameter of the surface to begin with. Hot water will be circulated through it, causing it to soften, before compressed air is introduced, expanding it to form a tight-fitting barrier against the host pipe wall. The heart of the InnaTube system is the unit used to heat and control the water circulated through the liner. For the hot water circuit to be made, a length of insulated hose must be passed across the road to the customer's property. This is the only impact on the normal flow of traffic in the street. And it's worth pointing out that the local councils also benefit directly from the elimination of road openings with the InnaTube system. Road pavements are left without unsightly restorations on what could well be a fresh-laid surface. The public also experiences less inconvenience. Traffic may be slowed, but it is still able to pass safely with care. And with no requirement to dig out in the roadway, crews face less risk. Couplings are attached to both ends of the PET tubing to connect the heating hoses and provide the required seal for the pressure that will inflate the liner. Apart from fixing the leak, the PET liner will also form a barrier against corrosion products that can adversely affect water quality in a service. Once all the fittings are in place and the hot water loop is complete, the lining expansion process can start. Heating the liner to the correct temperature and the timing of the compressed air injection for proper expansion are handled automatically by the InnaTube control unit. The expansion process usually takes between 8 and 10 minutes, depending on factors such as the length of the service and the temperature of the environment. As the fittings are removed, it's clear to see the process has been successful. The PET tubing has expanded fully as required and is now integrated with the pipe. Trimming reveals that the lining has not only conformed to the pipe, but to the shape of the end flares as well. And that's it. The service is now resealed and ready for many more years of reliable service.
We've just completed the service lining of this property here with InnaTube from the main through to the meter. That's worked successfully. This small demonstration piece that we have here just to show how the lining expands fully to the inside of the copper tube, allowing us to reconnect that to the stop tap and to the ferrule at the main. Also with a small hole in here that we use for demonstration just to show how it will cover any holes, cracks and imperfections in the copper pipe.
As sole licence holder for the new technology in the Southern Hemisphere, Utility Services is committed to making the cost-saving benefits of InnaTube available to all water authorities across Australasia. Utility Services is prepared to back its faith in InnaTube and dispatch lining crews to wherever the service is requested. Even for municipalities where property owners themselves are responsible for service connections, Utility Services is prepared to provide the InnaTube rehabilitation technology direct to the public. This is especially the case where water authorities in such areas provide an advisory or referral service to their customers, offering choice in leakage solutions. No matter whether large or small, regional or metropolitan, the option to share the commercial benefits of cutting-edge technology through the Utility Services InnaTube lining system is now available to all Australian water authorities. Before we finish, let's just recap on some of the key benefits of the InnaTube lining system. Lower maintenance costs, long-term solution to service pipe corrosion, improved water quality, less disruption to customers and the public, no risk to other services and council assets, better environmental protection, and greater safety for crews and the public. Finally, the clean-up. With a minimum of digging, restoration at the end of the job becomes much simpler, returning the environment back to normal sooner.